Let's talk about some more beautiful and sometimes trendy design choices that may be more hassle than they're worth. Hi everyone, Liz here. Welcome to Balance and Rhythm, where we talk about interior design and ways to make the most of our homes to create happiness, health, and well-being. In this video, we talked about 10 interior design choices that, while beautiful and sometimes even trendy, may present some maintenance hassles. Your response was overwhelming, and you added so many others to the list. So let's take a look at some of those and a couple I've added. A few of these are ones I have myself, so I can give you some personal perspective. Just to be clear, I'm not hating on any of these choices. These are just some things to think about to help you decide if they're right for you. Freestanding tubs came up a lot in the comments in comparison to vessel sinks, which are really the same concept. Some big differences though are obviously the size, frequency of use, and things we do that cause a mess, like toothbrushing. I didn't include it in the last video because I just installed one of these myself and I wanted to be able to provide my own personal experience. Now I'm still in the honeymoon phase, but I have to say that overall, I love it. To me, it's a work of art and the focal point of our primary bath. If you choose one with a wide enough base, it's easy to vacuum around and then follow up with a damp microfiber or mop. I do wish that I had left a bit more space to get around the back, but it's still very doable. I find it only slightly more of a hassle to clean than a regular tub, so definitely worth it for me. The popularity of jetted tubs has been waning for quite a while, especially the oversized built-in styles. We're still seeing this feature in freestanding models, so they obviously have their advantages, especially if you find this feature is one you use on a regular basis. But they can be difficult to clean and can harbor mold and other microbes in the jets. In addition, it's also not recommended to use beneficial bath additions like Epsom salts that can cause corrosion in metal parts or oils that can cause buildup in the jets. A viewer brought up waterfall faucets in relation to vessel sinks, since they seem to be used together so frequently, especially when trying to create a natural artisanal look. The big complaint, and one I found over and over in my research, is that the water tends to come out too quickly, splashing everywhere, or they have low water pressure and the water comes out too slowly. A viewer who's an architect commented that she never recommends black faucets, shower heads, or tile because of the buildup of soap scum and calcium deposits. I was going for a wabi-sabi, Japandi look for my upstairs bath renovation, and the black fixtures looked great. But I have to agree that especially in a shower that gets regular use, the buildup is pretty bad and it's almost impossible to keep up with. We used it quite heavily during our primary bath reno, so the fixtures are a mess. If I can't get them looking good again, I may replace them with a brushed nickel. I've received several comments and questions about my plantation shutters and shutters in general, which some say are difficult and tedious to maintain. I've had mine for over 8 years and I do like them very much. I did them with the widest slat, which is 4.5 inches, and no tilt rod for a modern look. And I like the flexibility they provide in light control and privacy. So what about maintenance? They do have to be dusted on a regular basis to keep them clean, and I wipe them down occasionally with a damp microfiber cloth when I'm cleaning the windows. Not too much of a hassle. Guilty again. We stained our engineered hardwoods upstairs a dark walnut/true black to cover the red so prominent in Brazilian cherry floors. If you're interested in that process, I'll link this video below. They are beautiful, but they show every speck of dust very quickly, so we really have to stay on top of them. Would it have been my first choice? Probably not, but we're working with what we have. Classics like crystal chandeliers and more modern and contemporary designs in paper or natural materials like wicker and rattan are beautiful, but they can be dust magnets and more difficult to clean than a typical light fixture with less nooks and crannies. It's something to keep in mind when you shop, but if you find the right one, you may just decide the extra work is worth it. Leather sofas are not really high maintenance per se. Depending on the type of leather, they're actually quite stain resistant and spills can be wiped up pretty easily. Although, as I mentioned in the last video, any button tufting will make this much more difficult. And because of their smooth texture, they don't harbor dust, pit hair, and other allergens like fabric does. but they are prone to scratching, so may be best if you don't mind the lived-in look of worn leather, which can be quite beautiful. Because of the smooth texture of the leather and its tendency to hold cold and heat, they may also not be as cozy as a fabric upholstered sofa. A viewer brought up things we might put between the stove and hood or upper cabinets, and one of those was pot fillers. We're seeing these a lot in higher end kitchen designs, and they look really beautiful and can be quite handy. But the stovetop is the greasiest and most splatter prone area in the home. So you have to ask yourself, do I want yet another fixture that needs to be cleaned and polished, especially in such a messy area? Built-in coffee makers are another high-end feature that looks great, especially if you want an integrated and streamlined look and to save counter space. But are they worth it? They need to be cleaned and descaled on a regular basis and will need to be serviced if they stop functioning. Depending on your budget and lifestyle, this could be a great choice or a drain on your wallet and energy. Now it's your turn. What do you think of some of these potentially high-maintenance items? Worth the hassle or not? Let us know your thoughts and if you have any personal experiences with them. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and please consider subscribing to be the first to know about new videos. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.